my website has like a background now. It has some cool little borders,
And
better.
how did you do that, Dana? Did you do that just because you knew how to do it, or you looked it up, or
Well,
you?
I looked it up. I got really confused, and then I realized it's like, oh, it's just you type the key term, the bracket, then what you want to be a certain color or
Mhm.
size or border, and it came out really to be quite easy. It's like way easier than HTML to
Okay.
style.
All right. Well, great. So, just in the interest, though, of just synchronizing, even though you may already know this, and maybe it's a good review. Isla, do you? What were the key points that you thought were useful in terms of the pros and cons of table code versus the pros and cons of div and CSS?
Well, I know that one thing we learned was like, I'm not sure if this was like important, but like the margins.
Yeah.
I thought that was kind of like neat how you can like change um the like margin so that like it was towards the middle, or you can bring it down so it's not like just at the top.
Yep. Yep.
So I thought that was
Great.
important. I'm trying to think of other things that.
What? Why do we use divs and CSS? Why are they? Where is it appropriate to use divs and CSS, and where is it appropriate to use tables? What are the pros and cons?
Well, I think it's like you said it was like easier. I mean, it's harder at first, but once everything's like in place, it's much easier to like update, and you don't have to
Perfect.
worry about. And I just think that instead of having like a long process and going into multiple different codes, like you can just like put everything on one kind of, and
Perfect.
it's much easier.
Perfect. Perfect. You can make your style edits in one file as opposed to on every page. That's a perfect explanation, Isla. And you can use your divs just to enter content. So it's a sort of separation between styling and content, as opposed to having all of that information gobbled into one HTML file. Um, Great, Brent's labeling it the proper way. Separation of concerns. Um, okay. Any other thoughts on the advantages of CSS versus and divs versus tables? Brent, chime in if you want to add other pros and cons, just so.
So
Mhm.
one thing I love about divs is like the template we're gonna use that we made basically recreates tables as divs. But the cool thing is like if you ever decide that like hey I want to put the left column onto the right column, or I wanna like I don't want a table anymore. I just want to lay these out in like content blocks, so it's like mobile responsive or something. You can easily go in and set like media queries to affect how the site looks in different screen sizes. You can change the layout because in a table, the content is stuck in the table, and the table like just it's defined like you can't really separate the table data. You can't pull out the cells and do what you want with them. But with divs, you can just basically do anything you want with the layout whenever you want, just from the CSS. So it just makes it a lot easier to edit.
That, that's a great comment, Brent. I didn't even realize that, but it could be that when you're on an iPhone, you want your information to be laid out differently. Not on, not in one case, you can have your website automatically respond to the resolution or the aspect ratio of the device you're using. In another case, as Brent was just suggesting, you may want to have a completely different layout for the iPhone versus a large screen computer. And divs allow you to make that change more easily than tables. Is that correct way to say it, Brent?
Yeah, I'd say so. Like with the table, all you can really adjust is the width of the table columns and the height of the
Yeah.
table rows and the overall width of the table. Maybe you can change the pattern on the cells. But if you
Mm-hmm.
shrink your website to like 320 pixels wide, a small phone, you can't have the left column stack on top of the right column and alternate back and forth. It's just going to make really small content that you can't read. But with divs, you can make a table layout using like div display. I think it's like display table or something like that. But then on mobile, you can have what they call media queries, which is basically I'll put it in the chat box. It's like at I think it's something like this, basically like at screen. I think it's like at media screen, and then you like define like something like that. That's not the exact syntax, but basically at certain stop points like 320, 640, 800, 1024, etc. You can have different CSS styles applied to the same elements. So as you shrink your screens or even rotate your phone, when you rotate your phone, it gets wider. So maybe you can read the table when it's rotated, but when you hold it vertically, there's no chance of it. So yeah, John, I think that is like a great explanation of what you said. Like it's just a lot easier to make things friendly on cross-platform.
Great. Okay. So let's try to get down this the sort of lecturing and execute, make your web pages. So I understand, Danny, you've already done this. Um, let before we go, well, what should we do, Brent? Should we pass the ball to Dana and see what he's done, or shall we help Isla? Which you think would be better?
I think seeing what Dana did briefly would be good because then we'll have like Dana. I'm sure that when you did this, you may not have done a separation of concern. Like you probably in your HTML have like style equals something somewhere, right? Or like the font tag and stuff like that.
Mm. Um, I did use some things like that, but I'm not really exactly sure what I wrote now. But
No worries. Basically, I think if we see yours first, that would be great, and then after that,
all right.
we'll help Isla, and then I'll show you guys the current template. Basically, what Jacob was explaining, I think 2 weeks ago, the separation of concern. I didn't even realize this, which shame on me for being a web developer. But if you put your style information in the actual HTML versus the style sheet, or use the font tags or anything like that, or even spacing like the p tags and everything, like the CSS should handle everything relevant to the layout. The only thing the HTML should have is the layout container, the ID or class, and the content that goes in it or images. That way, if
Okay.
you
Yeah, I
have,
tried. Oh.
oh, go ahead.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say I was trying to take most of my things that I had in my HTML and move them over to the CSS as much as I could. I still have a few things like font tags that are still in the HTML because I tried putting them in the CSS, but for some reason it just wasn't working out. So I kind of had that temporary fix, and I'm trying to fix it sometime soon.
Well, actually, after we help Isla out and I show you guys the template, I can go back through and help you, extract those and put those into the CSS.
All right. I'm not sure if you can pass the ball to me though, because I'm on a mobile device, and yeah.
Oh, right, right. Okay. Brent, may I make a suggestion?
Yes.
Let's start with your template.
Okay.
Just show Isla. We'll pass the ball to Isla, and we'll show Isla how to download your template from the website, and then we'll take Isla's existing site and put the content in the div file and the styles information in the CSS. How about if we do that?
Yeah, it sounds great.
Can we pass you the ball, Isla?
Yeah.
Okay. Uh, okay, I think you have the ball now, Isla.
Okay.
So you want to go to buildityourself.com first, and then Brent, maybe you can guide
Yeah.
Isla from here.
So once you're at buildityourself.com, you'd want to go. Let me just actually go there myself because the screen's lagging a little bit. So buildityourself.com, you want to click on missions.
Good, Isla.
And
You have good memory.
oh, is she already?
Fantastic.
Okay.
She's already there.
Screen was lagging slightly on my end. So. But yeah, so it's
Okay.
the CSS. I'll tell you which one to download. It's
Scroll down a little bit more, Isla. You'll need,
yeah,
it's in the block that says you'll need. Whoop. Yep, there we go. Which one, Brent? Whoa, 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 whoa. Yep, that's it. You got it. Very good.
Okay, awesome. All right, so
Okay. I know. All right, I downloaded that. What should I do after that?
after you
And
download it,
unzip them? Are they unzipped? Yeah. Okay. How about this first? Let's put the images, all the images from your existing site into this images folder. And let's rename, yeah, let's take the images from your existing site and put them in here. Fantastic. Very good, Isla. All righty. Let's, yeah, put them in there. Put them in. Very good, Isla. All right. How about this? Let's take this folder that you downloaded that says BIY sample layout 1, and let's put that on your desktop or somewhere in your folders. Yeah, put it right there and call either website November 2014, NOV 214, just so we'll distinguish it from your other one. Great. Okay. And you might want to, yeah, got that in your documents. Great. Right on, Isla. You know what to do. Does this make sense, Brent?
yeah. Yeah, always have a good file, like a folder name, so you know what you're actually working with. If it's just saved as template, you'll probably have a few
Yeah.
templates. And then copying over your images will just, you'll have everything in the root directory, so it'll be easy to, add them in and have it relative paths, which is great.
Should be November 214.
Oh.
It's okay, I get confused about the year too.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on.
Okay. So let's open your existing site and and we'll copy and paste the content from your existing site into this folder.
What folder?
Just, you should have several HTML files on your existing site. Can you open up the two windows next to each other so you don't have to go back and forth and just drag and drop? Okay. Okay. Good. So why don't we start with your existing HTML file on your old site? You have an HTML. There's an index.html in pink at the very top. Let's open that file. Is this the right way to do this, Brent? Open the two index files.
I would say you could probably, yeah, it probably makes sense, because then you can just copy the image links. Because you
Yep.
don't replace the HTML, just the content in the template. Because
Like,
if you
so
replace the,
where should I,
can you say
Great.
that? Yeah.
should I take? Should I,
Open that. Open that with a text editor. Open the index.html file with a text editor. you right click on index.html, will that open it up? Are you looking for a text editor, Isla?
No, I couldn't hear anyone, so I was trying to.
Oh, okay. What we want to do is have two text edit files open. Index.html on your old site and index.html on your new site.
Oh, okay.
So open with.
Okay.
Put that on the right hand side, or on the
Right.
this there. Yep, that one right there. Brent, and I'm not sure if this is the best strategy, but this is okay. So
All right.
can
So
All right.
all right.
yeah, John, I think this will work. Just I want to make sure, like, be cautious not to accidentally like copy and paste over the divs inside the new
Yeah.
template. What you want to make sure you do is from the
Yeah.
old index file, you want to find your text and your image, the img tags, and you can copy and paste those into the divs in the new one. That way the CSS applies to it. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
So, how do you want me to copy and paste all the content in it?
Alright, so
what? Yep.
you can
Go
go ahead,
ahead, Brent.
John. Okay, I don't want to drop down. So like, let's just look at the first thing. The title is okay. So in the new one, it goes main, which is the wrapper, and then it goes title. On your old one, it says Isla's World for the title. So it's like font tag size 16, face Times New Roman, color, etc. What you want to do is just copy the text Isla's World and replace where it says title text, and just paste into that. So you're just, deleting where it says title text, which is the placeholder. You're gonna add in your old content into that section.
Right here?
Yeah, you want to copy
Or
that,
the title?
and then my end has like slight lag. Yeah, right. Not in the class, but where it says title text in between the div open and div close tag. So you can probably just hit controls, yeah, undo that, and right there, perfect. So where it says div class equals title and then close the bracket, that opens the div, and then the div with the slash in front of it closes it. Picture that being like almost like a TD. You open TD, you put in your content, then you do the slash TD to close it. But we're just using divs instead.
Okay.
And then after that, you'd want to do your links. So like where it says a href, like index, bio, pictures, etc. And then if you look over on the template, it says like a href equals index.html. And then I put hashtags as the placeholders.
Yep. So should I put all of these bio.html
Yep.
and put it right in page 1?
Yep. Good, Isla. So while you're doing that, Dana, what we're trying to do here is use a template that Brent has designed that is very well structured. It's commented well, so you understand where everything is. It's indented well.
How do I add
It has complete separation of content and style. Content being in the HTML file, and style being in the CSS file. So what we like you to do, Dana, is have the experience of using this uh, professionally designed template. And in the process of using it, you'll see how an experienced web designer has laid out the page. Okay.
Okay, so I did that. Should I?
Okay, good. Let's keep going down and add more content to this.
Oh, real
Just
quick
like
though,
we changed the title. Yeah.
one thing I just noticed because the screen updated, you copied and pasted the actual page links where the name of the page should be versus making it where the link should be where the hashtag is. So href means like reference to a file. So in between those quotations is where you want your file name, and then in between the a tags is where you want the text that represents that link. Um, so where it says like bio.html, that should just say bio, and where the hashtag is before it, that should be bio.html.
Oh, I did
You get what I mean, right? On the Isla, with the reasoning.
What?
On the navigation, see where the number sign is? That number should be bio.html. And where you have bio.html, it should be just bio, capital BIO.
Where should I read that?
See where the number is? The number inside the quotation marks? Yep, right there. Replace that with bio.html.
Oh, okay.
And then where it says bio.html, you want to make that capital BIO, just like you did for the home page. See where you put the home page? Yep. Now make that bio.
All right. I have to figure out how to do that now. All right.
Yep, right there. Just make that capital
Wait.
BIO.
You can redo it.
That's it. Yep, perfect. You got it, Isla. Okay, so now your navigation should be clean.
What should I do? Sorry.
So let's replace copy. Scroll down on your old file. And let's get block of copy here. Okay. Let's put that images link. See where it says images slash AY lab.
Hey John, Alice says she can't hear us
JPG.
in the chat.
Oh.
I
Oh,
think maybe the
okay.
internet connection is like messing up.
Okay, got it.
Something's wrong with everyone's internet today.
I can't hear like anybody, but now I can.
Can you hear us now, Isla?
Yeah, no, I just can't. It keeps on like cutting back in. Like it cuts out for like 20 seconds,
Okay.
like every couple of minutes.
Go ahead, Brent.
Alright, so what was okay, so the images are where we are now, right?
Yeah.
So where it says img src equals with the quotations, images slash placemark.jpg. So you inside that
Where is
folder
it?
will
The ing. Right.
where it says div table data
So
column
right
1.
here.
Yes. IMG SRC where your cursor. The screen's lagging a little bit for me, but your cursor's around there where it froze. So what you want to do is replace where it says placemark.jpg with one of your images. So in your image folder, let's say you have like isla.jpg, or something, just replace that text with your, file name.
That's perfect. You got it exactly right. You got it.
Yes.
Perfect. Perfect. Replace your text, and then let's lay it out and see if we're getting a good result. We should have the first row of your table converted to HTML with divs. So it should be love is louder
she can't
than
hear again.
The pressure to be perfect. Oh.
In chat, she put she can't hear us again.
Right now I can.
Okay. So where it says love is louder than the pressure to be perfect?
Yeah.
Yeah. Right. Where? Good. Yeah.
Right here? Okay.
And where it says team 1 above that?
Yeah.
What do we want to put there, Brent? Maybe you can just delete that. We don't need that at all.
Yeah, that's just if you have a title. Like that was like from the old table
Okay.
template. Where it says H2 team 1 colon / H2, you can like delete that part in the new template you're working on.
Yep.
Good.
It's nice that you made sure you backspace until you had no space there, just for a clean code.
Yeah. Let's try laying this out, Isla.
Okay.
So I want to save this as an HTML file, as your index.html. Save. Okay.
Should I close out of this?
Are we sure we saved it as an HTML file? I know Mac text. Are you on a PC or a Mac?
A Mac. And it's saved.
Okay. So let's try to open it in a browser.
Yeah, well, let me go to the... Yeah.
Yep.
Let me just make sure it's saved. Yeah, this is it. Okay. Alright, so now, should I close out of this old one?
No, we're still gonna use that to continue to replace copy, but we just want to lay out your new page and see if it works. So open index.html here with a browser, Chrome or there we go.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's working. The thing is the picture's distorted, and that's because we have the picture width and height defined. So
And that's actually
let's go back to your.
It's in the CSS, the width and height.
Yeah.
That one might be problematic.
Oh, the div defines that, or the CSS defines that?
The CSS defines the image tag. So we could in the CSS put, like width is 200, height auto.
Yeah, that's what we should do.
Yeah.
Okay. How about if we make that change in the CSS, Brent? Guide Isla to open the CSS and start restyling the CSS so that the colors, the background color, Isla had a pink background color. Let's make sure she knows how to do that.
Go to the style one?
Yes.
Yep.
And only let's... Alright, I can do open.
Open that with your text editor.
It won't let me.
Launch text editor and try to open it from text editor. Boy, you're right, Isla. It takes longer to do this to begin with, but once we've got it laid out, it'll be really, really easy to edit. So it's a little bit more work up front to get a result, but once you get the first page done, the next page should be really easy.
Yeah.
Okay, we got the CSS open. Fantastic. So let's look for the background color in this CSS file. And let's change it to the pink you had on your original page.
Oh, should I open that up? Or
So
no, it's right here.
what I didn't do in the CSS file, I didn't define the background color since on the table template it was white. So you know, if it was gonna be white and you didn't need to define the color, it would be less bandwidth used to transfer that CSS file. So I just left it out. But to add it in, all you have to do, I'm gonna put it in the chat box. At the top, above where it says .main, because you kind of want to go in a nice order. You know, you should define the HTML body tags, the main content wrapper, and go down. You want to put body, and then that will define the body, and then background :pink.
Dana, I hope that this exercise is instructive to you.
Yeah.
Watching and helping Isla edit, maybe it'll be really easy for you to do.
Yeah, I've pretty much moved most of my stuff from HTML to CSS. I just have a few things left.
Okay. So you can work in parallel with us if you want to make the conversion the same as Isla is doing.
Alright, well, first I have to download all my CSS files to my thing.
You have lots of CSS files?
Not too many, only 4 or 5.
It would be nice if you could consolidate them into one CSS file like Brent has done here.
Oh yeah, no, I only have one CSS file. I have 5 HTML files. 4 or 5.
Great. Okay, good. Yep.
Alright, so body. Alright, and Isla, where it's like that, you could just for the sake of being consistent, you know, you can do a line break where it says background, you know, bring that down a line, and then make that last like bracket, you know, hit enter on that one and bring it down. It's not going to affect anything leaving it like this, but just so it's easier to read in case you add more style information in.
What? Sorry, cut out again.
I'll put it in chat because I know your audio cuts out a little bit.
Can you see it in the chat box, Isla?
What?
Can you see the suggestion that Brent made in the chat box? Just copy it from the chat box into your CSS file.
Oh, yeah.
The definition of the background.
Do you want the width in the main to be 200, or where do you want it to be?
Basically, you want to like line break just so it's your code is perfect. I'm just saying like how the other ones, how they like enter down so you can stack them, you know.
Like that?
Well, you see how the other ones they have the bracket, then they have like an enter, and then they close the bracket on its own line. That is just written like that. So if you have like say 10 different pieces of style information to affect that element, if they went all across, it would be difficult to read them.
Perfect, Isla.
Exactly.
Isla, I understand rather than use tabs, it's better to use space bars. I guess you use tabs, Brent. Is that the case?
I think I did.
Okay, I remember when you say never use tabs because every text editor has a different number of spaces for the tabs.
Yeah, it's true, and then also it's like way more spaces than you actually need. Sometimes that makes it tougher to read. I'm guilty of doing that.
Right. Yeah. So what we'll do, Brent, is we're gonna. I have a couple of suggestions to make your CSS and HTML files a little more like when you encourages us to do.
Yeah,
I know at Google they're really strict about indentation.
sounds good. I mean, honestly, the more I can learn from that guy, the better.
Yeah.
He's like the holy grail of web development.
Really. Okay. So for now, it's good. Let's see if it lays out with the new layout. Takes the edit you just made and makes your background pink. And then let's also change the, yeah, we changed the image height to width, excuse me, image height. So,
Because I know Brian said change something to 200. Which one does he want me to
Oh,
change?
if you scroll down a
200
little
width.
bit, scroll down till you see the IMG as the element. It'll be like dot, I think like TD space IMG or something like that.
Wait, what's the? I have a question.
Yes.
Yep.
What's the? I'm trying to get my HTML files so I can edit them like as this is going on, but I don't remember the password for the iPage. Do you know what it is?
Oh, the password you don't need a password.
No, for like getting to the iPage to download the files.
Oh, right. Um, hold on a second, Dana. Let me, uh, I'll get that.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I think it's like
Oh, I
robot
can get
dash
it now.
sushi 00 or something. John will
Hold
grab
on
that.
a second. I'll get it for sure. iPage.
I know that it's Invention Universe Com, but I don't know the pass.
Yeah. Scratch accounts, Teen Life. On sync, personal website, hosting. Okay, here we are. Whoops. Still looking, Dana. Hold on a second.
Okay.
And I put it in the chat. It's
Okay.
to change the image height. I was wrong. It wasn't IMG. I made a class called image dash square, and I put the width to 200, height to 200 because those blocks were 200 in the template. But we don't have to define the height. If it's a square and we define the width, it will automatically resize the height. So we can put height
Okay,
auto.
where is that? In the actual style.
It's in the style.css.
See it. Do you see it on my things? I don't see it.
Um,
Should I make it?
it's lagging a little bit. That should be there. If you scroll down, it's underneath the navigation, like the nav tags, the elements. Oh wow, it's not. Is that the style from your old or new template?
The new.
This is weird. Can you double check to make sure that is the right one? Because I put comments in the CSS too, and I don't see any comments there either. Could you just go back to the folder and make sure that that's the one from Jay?
This is the one. It says it goes to the internet, so.
Okay. Not sure why that's the case. Let me just double check the zip file I uploaded to make sure it's in there. Yeah, I think it's in the latest one from online. Let me just download it too to just double check I'm not mistaken. I could be mistaken. Is possible you may have overwritten it when you copied and pasted the files?
Maybe.
That's my guess. But I could be mistaken too. So I'm just gonna double check the website. Yeah, it's in there. But if you want, you could just add it in. I mean, that might be a good exercise regardless.
Alright, where do I where should I add it?
Underneath where it says, let me just
Nav?
check. Yeah, so I have it. I'll just copy and paste. Actually, I'll copy and paste the whole CSS. I'm not sure if it'll come in, but this is the CSS that. Let's see how many characters it allows. Okay, it didn't put all of it. I think chat's limited. But if you see, like after .nav li, that's where I put the .image dash square. Yeah, right where your cursor is. It's perfect.
Okay. Where? Oh, so dot.
And the case might be when you copied and pasted. No, you didn't copy and paste the image. You only copy and pasted the file path. So it should have the class assigned to it.
Is that right?
Dash image square with. So where it says height 200 px, change that to auto.
Auto PX or is auto?
Just auto. So
Oh,
CSS on the browser will recognize that as meaning like automatically scale the height to match the width to keep the aspect ratio correct. So if you
okay.
save this, and then let's just check your index file to make sure the image has the class. Yeah, it does. I can see it right now. Class equals image dash square. So if you save that and then just refresh the page, it should resize.
Well, that's just of it. Let me go to that.
It's still. Let's see why that's doing that. Height auto. Did I define the row height? I'm just scrolling through the CSS real quick. See if there's anything in it. I don't think there's. Can I see your CSS file? Because maybe the older one didn't. Maybe I just find the row height or something. Let's see. No, there's nothing there. Let me try it on my side just to see if that works. Because we may have copied something too much. Auto. Here we go. Yeah, so I'll be 1 second. What I'm doing right now is I'm resizing one of my images to be taller, and I'm changing my height to auto as well. I'm gonna see if it fixes it. If it does fix it, that leads me to think that there is something that got copied that didn't maybe overwrote something. Resize.
Dana, I just sent you an email with the information to get to for future reference how to get to your files on iPage, and I'm just about to put into chat what the password is.
Alright,
Okay. Well, I know how to get the files onto iPage. They're already there. I just need to download them.
Okay.
I'll check my email in a sec.
You got an email that's the reference to iPage where all the passwords are, and I just put in the chat box. It's robot-sushi00.
Okay. Are any capitals or no?
Yes, capital R, right, good. Capital R for robot dash. It's in the chat box.
All right. I'll get that right now.
That's the password for iPage.
Okay. Thank
No.
you.
Does that work?
I haven't tried yet. I'm getting onto Internet Explorer right now because it's the tablet and you can't download any
Right.
browsers.
You're
So
welcome.
it might take a little while.
Okay, you're welcome. If it doesn't work, let me know. You'll also
All right.
have a record for future reference in the how to find the information.
And
All right. Let's see.
could you pass me the ball real quick? It worked for me, so I'm gonna show you what I did, and then we can troubleshoot yours.
You have the ball, Brent.
Alright, thank you. Alright, so from the download, I downloaded a fresh copy. And what I did first was I changed this image size. Its height is now 500 pixels. The place mark. I distorted it purposely. In the CSS right now, it says 200 pixels for the height. If I open this, it looks like this. If I go into my CSS file and just change this one section to say auto, that works perfectly. If the image is taller than 200 pixels now, or any size, it just automatically scales it to be 200 pixels wide, and whatever the correct aspect ratio is, the height is automatically set. So this is the only piece of code I had to change to get my image to work from the template I downloaded, the most recent one, which leads me to think that maybe when we copied and pasted the files, I'm very sure we overwrote the CSS file by accident with the one from last week or the week before. And the other thing is I'm not sure if maybe we messed up the HTML. So let's I'll pass you the ball back. I just wanted to show you, that's how it should be working, and let's see what's missing.
Brent, I'm not sure that's really working because now the image on my screen anyway looks like it's distorted on the height. That the height is exactly the height of the div rather than the natural height of the photograph. You know what I'm saying?
Could you pass me back the ball? I'm not sure if I'm following the.
Okay, so look at your image. The place mark is 200 by 200.
No,
It
I
looks to me.
modified it. I adjusted the height to 500 to simulate what Isla has, a different height. So let me
Oh,
I'll show you again. Share.
just let it auto. It should be perfectly square.
Right, but Isla's not perfectly square. In the CSS, I set it to 200 pixels by 200 pixels to match the place mark. So what I did was I went
Yeah.
to image and I changed the image size to 500 pixels tall. So let me just
Oh.
I'll
Oh, I see.
to better
Got
represent
it.
this.
I got it. I'm sorry. Okay, I didn't realize you did that. I wasn't paying attention.
Okay, no problem. So basically,
That was a great test.
yeah, if I change the image size, when I if I leave the CSS to say 200 and I refresh this, it forces the height and width to be 200 no matter what the image is. But if I backspace this and I put auto and I save it, that one change, now the images will automatically scale to match the width 200, height 200, 500, whatever the whatever it should be to look consistent. So I was when we change it to height auto, it doesn't work. It stays as a square. So I'm not sure if maybe the HTML we copied something wrong, or maybe when we replaced the files, we overwrote the CSS and there's something wrong in the CSS. So that's my troubleshooting. Oh It's 11 o'clock, and I see Andrew joined.
Sounds great. Sounds great, Brent. Your test is perfect. So, Isla and Dana, just to wind this down,
Yep.
because Andrew and I are going to meet now. Uh, I, we need to make a few edits, Brent, to our template, right?
Yeah, you want me to spaces rather than tabs, and
Tabs and I saw a few places where the indentation wasn't the way I remember when you suggesting we should indent. So I'll maybe when we meet early next week, I'll go through some of the guidelines that I heard when you using for indentation, and we'll also change the CSS to reflect the image variation in image sizes. But in the meantime, I and Dana, maybe you can download and just start making these changes to get some practice converting your table page to div/CSS.
All right. Well, I've been using a lot of divs in my HTML.
Great,
Do you want
great.
me to put my website in the chat?
Yeah,
All
yeah,
right.
good. We'll have a look at it and then give you some feedback, Dana.
All right.
Brent, could you have a look at while I talk with Andrew what Dana's done, and then maybe offer some feedback via email or even interrupt Andrew and I.
all right. Yeah, that's no problem. So yeah, is it
All
okay? Let
right.
me
I put the link.
awesome. Let me open that right now and that's element.
Great. Okay, Isla and Dana, glad you could join. You may want to stay on a little bit, Dana, and see if you can get some feedback from Brent.
All
But
right.
Isla, to be continued next week. I know this is slugging through this is a little painful at first. It's very helpful for Brent and I to see how the conversions are made, because then we can edit the template so that it's really easier to do this in the future. So thanks for bearing with us.
And I can give you some
But
quick.
in the long run, learning how to use CSS and divs instead of tables is going to be really helpful if you want to be good web designers. So keep at it. All
All
right,
right.
Isla, Dana, see you next week.
All right.
And
All
actually,
right.
Dana,
I'll
Hi,
see you
Andrew.
guys later.
See ya.
I can give you
All
some quick
right.
Andrew.
feed. Okay.
Goodbye. Do you know how to hang up on a mobile device?
You could probably force close the app if you can't figure it out. I'm not sure. John, is it okay if I take like 1 minute? I just looked through Dana's site. Um, is it okay if I give him a quick feedback?
Yep.
And through some of the guys in our last webcast meeting
Yeah.
that since Microsoft bought Minecraft, they actually revoked rights on the Bucket plugins.
Yep.
So the entire community is exploding and they're getting mad at each other and whatever else. So the issue that I've personally been having with the Amazon server is that I can't get it to run, even if I do happen to find a file that can run Bucket. The privileges are still revoked. I have no idea how ClanForge has the ability to run Bucket servers, but for whatever reason they can.
Right.
So with that in mind, a lot of our Minecraft programs run off of Bucket, but the critical thing that we have going for us is that other than the 103 course where we teach Bucket uh, or Bucket plugins and computer programming through Java, um, we show everything else in Redstone and in Minecraft. So something that I was thinking about after I got through the last session that I worked on the Amazon servers was that, you know, as far as mods go, we were talking about it at one point, and we kind of avoided it because we thought Bucket plugins would be easier. And I thought about it for a second, and I thought that although we don't have to, although teaching how to make mods is difficult, we don't have to do that. What's interesting are that there are mods out there already built that have some major education potential. So there are mods, 3 of them in particular, called